You have such a sorry.
Oh, it's all
Yeah.
good. So, anyways, like I said, my wife came in. She was going to sell these. She had done a couple other things in the past, and it was basically a good discount. She had never made any money doing it, but she's very successful in her career. I'm somewhat successful. I don't, not patting myself on the back or anything, but I've done well in our career. But again, living paycheck to paycheck every week. So when she brought them home, I was actually about 300, right at 300 pounds, and I've always been in shape. I've always been able to do things, but I was getting to the point that I couldn't. I would go surfing with my daughter and I wouldn't be able to keep up. And I was done after about an hour, 2 hours and couldn't do anything so anyways, I was just way out of shape. I'd tried keto, I tried paleo, I'd lost weight, gained weight, lost weight, gained weight. But the problem with me is I was so addicted to sugar
Mm.
that I couldn't get through the withdrawals. So, I mean, sugar is a drug. You go through, if you just try to quit it, you're going to go through the withdrawals. You're going to be miserable. Too much, so much to the point my wife, after about 3 or 4 weeks, would be like, I don't care if you're fat, but I'm not dealing with your grumpy butt. So go eat a Snickers or something because I'm not doing this. And so, anyway, so when she brought him home, I'd made fun of her, and my wife is a firecracker. She's a spitfire. So I had to smooth things over. So that's when I started taking the drops. And I ended up losing 65 pounds on the drops because they helped me get through the biggest thing is their liquid discipline. That's really what they are. Only thing that I've ever had real success and been able to keep the weight off. The weight's been kept off now for 2 years. I'm just started back in a little bit because I want to lose a little bit more. But I only took them for about 9 months, lost 65 pounds. But the business side was more to me than the health side. As I said, we were living paycheck to paycheck when she brought this. Within 60 days, she had made about $20,000 on just selling these in off online, just posting people that she had that would have their testimonies. Hey, I lost 3 pounds. She would just post that online and boom, she would sell more boxes. She sold her biggest post was she jumped off her Peloton bike and just took a quick selfie and said, "No more night sweats." My wife only needed to lose about 15 pounds, actually about 10 pounds, and she lost 15. But her big win, she still takes them to this day, and she'll never not take them because of the way they make her feel. She came off her antidepressants, anti-anxiety medication. She lost 15 pounds in the first month. And then, like I said, she made money on the retail side. And that's when I'm like, wow, maybe this is a real business. And so that's when Todd, who we were talking about, uh, one of my mentor, Shorty knows him well. They've known him for a long, long time. Todd's been very successful in the industry. So he comes over and he shows me the pay plan. I'm like, I want to meet this Todd guy you keep talking about. And when I look at it from a business standpoint, I was like, this is actually a really good business model. I think you could make money in this. And now we're 2 years in, just over 2 years. Actually, June for me was 2 years. And we make almost three times what we make in our W-2 jobs. So much so she's moved back to PRN. She works when she wants to. I've rolled into a consulting role more. And hopefully I'll be retired. And that's another thing. When I was 40, so I'm 40, I'm turned 45 tomorrow. I was 43 when I started this, or 40, yeah. So about to turn 43, 42. And when we started this, I would look on my Edward Jones and I would see like I'm putting all this money into my retirement account. But it has this tracker, and I would say, okay, if I retire at 65 at this current rate, how long can I live? And it's basically you'll run out of minute money when you're 67. So it's like I'm going to be working the rest of my life. And I did not want to. But now I'm getting ready to say I'm retiring at 45. So it's really changed our lives. The biggest thing is just the community that's part of it, and then the pay plan is exceptional. It's been voted number 1 multiple times, and it's been proven. And it's very balanced from the upfront money to the back end money, the residual income, which is what we're really starting to get into now. We get paid 9 different ways. Anything, so the retail sales is one. So in your pocket, you get paid what we call new volume bonus, and that's why. So as you're coming on board, the whole goal is for everybody to get to ultimate. Ultimate is what we call top pay. When you come in, you pay basically $30 US. I guess it's like 42 in Canada, I believe. You pay that, and that's one-time fee. That gives you all your website. That gives you the back office where it keeps up with everything. That gives you the Partner Coach Share app, which has all the documentation. And for every country that we're in 58 different countries. So we can do business worldwide. I'll never forget Todd that night. He was showing me the pay plan. He was like, "You can have a global virtual franchise." And I looked over at Ashley. She was sitting over there in front of Todd, and I go, "You can have a global virtual franchise. Like that's going to be." I was like, but we were riding home, and I was like, "Well, maybe we'll have something in Mexico. We go down to Cabo a good bit. Maybe we'll pick up something down there." And literally within a month, we had somebody in the UK that just somebody. Now we're in 28 countries in 2 years, just our team. So we truly can have a global business here, and it's amazing because that means it just works around the clock. You get up in the morning, and people have been, your checks are going up around the clock, which is absolutely outstanding. But anyways, so we always want to get to that top pay, and that top pay basically is 30 boxes of drops. You can buy or sell your way there. So it just has to run through your account. You can do it with customers or you can do it yourself. What we're doing mainly because it is a one-time thing. Once you buy in or once you buy or sell your way to Ultimate Top Pay, you're there for life. You can literally go away from the company and come back and you're still have that ultimate status, which is top pay status, which what Ultimate unlocks is what we call new volume bonus of 30%. So anything that a new brand partner that you sign up or a new customer in their first 4 weeks or first 4 Fridays, you get 30% of that as a commission. So with 30 boxes of drops, that's 1,500 PV. That would be $450 in that new volume bonus. So it really generates some upfront money. That's where this pay plan really gets very creative, is generating that upfront money. That's why we always go. And so if they come in, anybody that goes, starts with a 30 pack, when they come in with that 30 pack, when they sell that's $2,700 US dollars profit if you're selling at 176, which is retail price. I don't remember what that is in Canadian dollars. I think it's just like 3,300. I can't remember. Shorty, what is that? Do you know what it is? So Canada just got the 30 packs. We just got on the ground there, so we haven't worked through all that. But anyways, it should generate $3,000 to $3,500 profit from those 30 boxes. And everybody we have come on, and I'm not exaggerating this at all, anybody that comes in with a 30 pack, because of that side of it, when they have that investment, they have motivation, they'll sell those 30 just by running our system of growth within their first month. And that's $2,700 to $3,000 US profit that they've just made. And that's just in retail sales. That's not even anything to do with any customers at that or customer buying or any brand partners are signing up. That has nothing to do. That's all different. That's base commission. That's a totally different piece of the pay plan. So you really can start stacking money that way. So there's upfront money with the new volume bonus, roll into base commissions, those as they, are ordering throughout the year, as they, start building a team, they build a team, you're collecting 15% on that. Then we have bonuses tied into it. We have a savings bonus instead of a car program. We don't want to put anybody in debt. So with the savings bonus program, what we do is once somebody starts making 250 or more in base commission every week, the company takes an extra 15% and puts it into an account for you. Once it hits $10,000, they give you the $10,000. They celebrate you, put you on stage, do all that stuff. And then every 4 weeks from that point on, you'll get an additional check for 15% on top of your base commission from the previous 4 weeks. So it's an extra bonus. The next piece of that is the matching check. And that also is unlocked with Ultimate. Matching check is a totally separate piece of the pay plan. It is a pay plan for basically generational. So if I signed up Shorty would be my first generation. He signs up Jannet, that's second generation for me. And then Jannet signs up Leslie, that's third generation for me. In that other piece of pay, basically what happens is if Shorty makes $1,000 in base commission this week, I'm going to make an extra 15% on top of that. So I'm going to make $150 from that. If Jannet does it, she's my second generation, I'm going to get 10%, which if she does 1,000, that's $100. And if Leslie does it, I'm going to get $50 if she makes 1,000. So that really starts to stack up when your team starts growing. And all it is duplication underneath you. And it's just an organic growth. And that one starts kicking in a few months down, a year down, and then that's where that's going to become the biggest part of your check. There's no cap on that, zero cap on that. So that's one of the biggest thing. It doesn't matter power line, pay line, none of that matters. It just matters what they get in base commission. So that's really the difference in our pay plan. And I can show it to you in graphics. Sometimes that's easier for people. Sometimes they just like to talk, but please ask any questions.
Oh, just hang on, Leslie. Just unmute, Leslie. You'll see a microphone. Hit the microphone.
Yeah.
There we
There
go.
you go.
Hi, sorry. So, okay, I know you were talking like US and that, and you're saying it's about $176 a box if you were to retail it then to a client?
Yeah, what do you guys retail at, Shorty?
200.
200.
At
And it's
200.
$35.70 for the 30 pack.
There you go.
So it's
Okay.
2,430 profit out of a 30 pack if you sell them all at retail.
Gotcha.
So to purchase those 30 boxes, which we call a 30 pack because they have both drops in them,
Yeah,
it's 3,500 Canadian.
okay.
And
And then
then
they're selling at a discount in Canada right now. So Shorty and them at 200, the retail, normal retail, that's about a 15% discount on what normal retail is.
Okay.
And that's a lot of people in the US do the same thing. They sell at 150. We sell at actually 160. So you give them a little bit of discount, but then there are some people that just stay strictly retail.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was just kind of wondering with in my salon what they would be, what I'd be looking at for my clients. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say 200. Yeah,
Okay.
is where you would want to be.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I want to make note of right now is that Leslie is oh my gosh, a nail tech for how many years now?
40.
Yeah, because I met her 30 years ago. She was my educator. So she does education as well. And then Jamie is voted one of the top massage therapists here in New Braunfels.
Oh,
I know.
Awesome.
Are you going to show us yourself, Jamie, or are you going to stay hidden?
Hi guys.
Hey, Jamie.
There she is.
Hi.
I actually got news today that I was voted the #1 massage therapist in
It
town.
happened. Yay!
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Good for you.
We have
So you both have businesses that
Yeah.
can support
Yeah.
this kind of retail.
big time, because we just brought on another side of our business. We just brought on a team from Young Living, and most of them are massage therapists or physicians, some type of physicians, holistic physicians, nail salon owners, and hair salon. So that's really, really big, mainly because especially in Canada now that you can actually display them and sell them in your place and think it's huge that way.
That is huge.
And typically it just depends on, because the big, you can make good money just retailing drops. There's no doubt about it. But the overall, what we want to do is build a team. We want to duplicate this thing. So with that said, you guys might be a little bit different how you want to handle that. You guys might not, we run what we call the system of growth, which is where we're posting twice a day. You've probably seen Jannet or Shorty or some of their posts, things like that. Generally, a lot of these people, some of them do run the system and are very successful because they're not really, but the other side of it is they just sell out of their shop more like an affiliate. And then they basically feed us, the customer, and we help them on their journey. We walk them through, whatever that, any difficulties they might have at their plateauing or they're not having success. We will always be there to help them. And then we work on converting them, because the whole thing is you want them to become on as a brand partner, because then you can actually reach more people through them. And so you help people, help people, help people, help people. And so, changing people financially, changing people's lives financially, and in the medical side of things, physically, is really why we do what we do. I mean, it's a ministry in itself that we like to really, I mean, once you see somebody change their life, not just me, like when I changed my health and I got off my CPAP machine. Had my A1C was 6.3. It dropped to 5.2 within 3 months. Once you have that for yourself, and then you see other people, like the guy or the girl that got on, she was talking about Christy Walsh. Christy Walsh came in and she couldn't even hardly afford the four pack when she came in. She now within a year is making about she's making about 10,000 a month now, just within that year. It's changed her life. So when you see people change their lives and truly like, wow, like you see, you know, her daughter Shelby got a horse, and you start seeing these people through other people, like people that like Shorty coming on. You know, I don't even know some of his people, but I see their transformations. I see these transformations going on, and lives are changing. I'm seeing these paychecks. I mean, here in the US, I mean, I'm sure it's the same in Canada or close, but here in the US, I mean, $500 separates people from, you know, going bankrupt or being able to go out to eat. Seriously. I mean, it's one way or another. Everybody's walking that tight line. So just providing $500 a month into somebody's income can change their lives, and this company can do it. And I don't do anything unless I'm passionate about it. And this company's going to be around. It's not like a lot of the other companies that you've seen change pay plans, change. They can't do that. We actually have a contract, a legally binding document that's called our Bill of Rights, the Brand Partners Bill of Rights. We have the Partners Council. I actually am part of the Partners Council. They can't change the pay plan. They can't change anything without it going through the brand partners first. So instead of having a 5 and 10 year plan, we have a 50 and a 100-year plan. The owners that bought this company, they don't need to work. They're doing this because they want to leave a legacy. And, you know, so they have, you know, we're totally debt free in 58 countries with manufacturing, warehousing in all those countries, which is really what makes us the unicorn, is we don't have to spend all that money to try to open up new countries. We're already in those countries.
And with the company only being 2 years old in networking, that's like infancy. So with it only being in Canada for a year, this is the time to jump in. Like, you know, honest to gosh, if, you know, I mean, Shorty can even speak to that. Shorty's been in network marketing since the 1990s and started in Amway. So he knows, you know, when you get into a networking company like this, that's this strong in the beginning, oh my gosh, you are totally riding the wave. And I'm so excited to be building a team. So a team of really great people, to be quite honest, because, you know, I don't want to build a team with people who aren't. You know, my success is your success is my success. That's how this works, period. So, and we have such a strong team to help people when they first get started. That to me was important. I'm not that computer savvy, but I can get through it. But it's amazing. Like Shorty really helped me walk through like the back office and how to navigate that, because of course I have customers in the US and Canada, so they're a little bit different. And by the way, Leslie, you will be getting what they call the day-night drops, which is fantastic. I kind of want some. I'm kidding.
My wife likes those better than what we have.
Right?
Here. She does. She likes the sleep from the day and night drops. The weight loss, all that's exactly the same, but she gets better sleep with the day and night drops.
That would be wonderful to have the rest for sure. Yeah.
Well, they say that the weight comes off quicker with the day-night drops, you know, just from what people have reported. So Europe has the same drops as Canada. So, yeah.
And did you say that the states will eventually be changing to that?
No, so ours is a homeopathic formula that we use here. Again, it's plant-based and everything in Canada and Europe, but because of the laws in Canada, the laws in Europe, the formulation, it's just like, I mean, a good example is Coca-Cola. I mean, even though it's totally bad for you no matter where, different countries have different regulations. So every single formulation is different in the different countries, but it has the exact same effect, the same, you know. So we see a lot of like Jannet was saying, seems like the day and night drops, you drop weight a little bit faster, especially the women.
Okay. What about medications and stuff? If you're like
zero contraindications. So the way these are created, they're not created to. There's no chemicals in them. There's no stimulants. There's nothing like that in it. It's
no
all
hormones in
natural.
them.
Yeah, no hormones. So the only thing you're doing is naturally leveling off your body. So for me, it was leveling off my insulin secretion and from my pancreas, leveling off thyroid, things like that. Really helps people that, you know, even people that need to gain weight, can actually take the drops and it'll help level their body out where they're actually, consuming what they need to consume. Their body's telling them when they're hungry, when they're not. You can eat, there's no diet to this. I mean, there's a food list, and that food list is what we should be eating anyways. And that's where the drops really separate themselves, is that when you start taking the drops and you start eating right. So every one of us try these, drops, or try these diets. They try all these different diets, and then, what ends up happening, they do really good for a week or two, and then they end up going back. What happens here is once you start eating good with these drops, that's what your body starts craving. So then it's way easier to stay on program. It's way easier to stay in there. We're not selling meal kits or anything like this. There's just a list of foods. This is what you eat. It's you can Google it. It's just a low glycemic food list is all it is. We just don't want to spike the insulin. That's the biggest thing for us, is we don't want to spike that insulin. So the drops naturally attack things like ghrelin, the hunger hormone, the rhodiola in like our drops. There's some other different things that really attack, like, or not, I don't want to say attack, but level off, like cortisol. Cortisol, the belly fat, the stress hormone. That's one of the biggest things. That's what, again, that's one of the biggest things for my wife. And then just just the natural way of leveling your body off. And then the side effect of that is, if you're overweight, you're going to lose weight because now you're eating correctly. I didn't, in that whole 9 months that I lost 65 pounds, I used to be a runner. I ran twice during that time. My knee was, I couldn't, at that time, my knee wasn't letting me until I got on the mower, which I'm running now. But during that time, I lost 65 pounds without ever exercising.
And your muscle stays healthy.
Muscle mass is still there. So this isn't a thing like, where it's blocking certain things from, so you don't lose your muscle mass. You're going to lose that. That was when I lost all my weight the first time. I dropped down from, I was about 270, and then I dropped down to like 210. I couldn't even do a push-up when I lost all the weight. Nothing has changed muscle wise on me for that. That's a huge difference that you'll see. And you'll see that with the skin. It helps the skin tighten up as you're as you're going. There's other products that we mix in with it too, that are absolutely phenomenal. And we have 100 different products. The drops are the viral product, but they're not even my favorite product. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. And any age?
Any age, we on the box, I think it says 18. In Canada, I think it says 19. But we have young people. Todd's daughter was taking them at 13, no issue at all. Again, no contraindications at all. The only thing we kind of shy away from is nursing or pregnant moms. That's really the only people that can't take this. Or it's not that they can't, it blocks cortisol, and the babies need cortisol. So.
Okay, cool.
Gordon, do you have any questions, or Jamie? You can unmute yourself.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it. I was just going to say, if you're muted, you can unmute yourself. But Gordon, do you have any questions?
Yeah. So he was just saying this company sells more products.
Yes.
We have over 100 products. Everything that we do is created from a health standpoint first. In the U.S., especially, our governmental agency that oversees supplements and food is the same as FDA. They're not like overseeing pharmaceuticals. They oversee food, and I work in the food industry, and they don't have many regulations at all. You can pretty much in the U.S. put whatever you want to in a bottle, and you just put a little bit of, like, say, B12 and call it B12 when it's really filled with cornstarch or whatever it is.
Oh, wow.
Here we do everything in clinical dosages. We do clinical studies. In fact, we have 6 of our products are the physician's desk reference, which is generally you won't see supplements in there. You only see pharmaceuticals in there. So everything is created from a doctor standpoint for us. We have a team of 100 different, or over 100 doctors now, led by Dr. Ray Strand, and now Dr. Plant, Joshua Plant, has come on board as well. But we have 100 doctors, over 100 doctors worldwide, probably 110, 115 now, that are, help develop the products, oversee all this. And again, I think we've done 215 clinical studies so far.
Oh, wow. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So we and that's the thing. These products work. Like, my favorite product is a product we call MOA. It is 36 superfoods. Basically, it's a bunch of foods blended together, which I normally don't like. But I've never eaten healthy. I can't hardly ever get my greens, anything like that, but we have given greens. But our MOA is 36 superfoods, also has 6 medicinal mushrooms. That's all that's in it. And you take that and it literally, it works for 100% of the people, 100% of the time for inflammation, whether you're bigger and you have rheumatoid arthritis and you're swelling and all that kind of stuff. Or for those like Kristen Dole, who is a CrossFit trainer who trains a lot of NFL athletes, other athletes as well. They are on MOA for the recovery side of things because it'll cut your recovery when you're working out in half. Leg
wow.
day. Instead of doing leg day once a week, you can do it 2 or 3 times a week. For me, it was surfing with my daughter. My chest would be hurting so bad just from, and having to, just the muscles being tight from paddling, where I would paddle, even when had lost the weight, I was still 2 hours in the water and I couldn't go another, a couple of days after that. Now I take my MOA before, MOA when I get out, and I'm good to go all day and the next day. So recovery is really good. We also have another product called Renew, which is a product, again, we're not going to put anything synthetic, so it's not synthetic HGH, but what it does is it helps your body create its own natural HGH, which is known as the longevity hormone or the fountain of youth. We've seen people grow their hair back. The sleep side of that is phenomenal with Renew, because Renew actually is one of the pathways to create that is your REM sleep. So one of the ingredients in it helps your REM sleep, and it is by far one of my favorite products too. Mo and Renew are 2 of my favorites, and then of course we actually have the Tahitian Noni is one of our original brands that we have, and Noni is it is the world's most researched superfood, and there's over 2,000 clinical studies and papers done on Noni, so you can read all about it. So that's one of the ones in the physician's desk reference, which I absolutely love the Noni as well. So I could keep going. We have clean energy drinks, my burn, 20 grams of protein. So it's great for either a pre or a post workout. That's what I use to break my fast. So I get protein in my body first. So.
Oh, wow.
So I can see that I did start taking the Renew, and it's just a little packet that you put in water and mix it up. It's powder, tastes amazing. And you take it 30 minutes before bed. So being menopausal, I'm like, sleeping through the night's never been something I've been able to do the last 3 years. Oh my gosh, I sleep like a baby. I woke up the other morning right at 6 a.m. I'm like, you mean I didn't get up? What? It was just like, I couldn't even believe it. So I can definitely say it works for sure. I love Renew. MOA, I was just saying to Shorty the other day, it's a little bit spicy. It's got some kick to it.
It's got black pepper in it so you want to absorb, that helps absorb all of it. It opens up so you can absorb. And that's why it's like a spicy V8. A lot of people, I like it. It's better cold. Most people like it cold. I love MOA cold. It does take a little bit getting used to. Some people love it. So, I actually crave it now. So I just had some right before I sat down. So.
So does anyone have any questions about the business side? So any hypotheticals? Jamie, I know you've got the perfect place to have a little retail set up. Do you have any questions?
Not so much about the business side. My main bit of questions is more so about the ingredients and where the ingredients are sourced, how they're sourced, and what kind of testing there is with each of these products and all of the products underneath Partner Co. as well.
You are awesome. I love those questions. Most people won't ask those questions. These are great. So all of our ingredients, I mean, I'll give an example of like our Banali. So the grapeseed extract actually comes from only one area in Italy. It's the most potent. I can't remember what the number is. Todd could tell you. We're actually doing a product training tomorrow, and that a lot of it will be on there tomorrow at this same time. at the same time. No, at 8:30 my time, which would be 6:30 your guys' time. But anyways, you could hear more. But all of our ingredients are sourced from the best. I mean, that's literally the hold up on the Canada drops. We were supposed to have them a month earlier, but the hold up was we couldn't get the mushroom that we needed for it because it's only a specific one that we will take. Like there's the same mushroom elsewhere, but it has to meet certain levels. So everything is heavily tested. We have probably, I think it's 17, 18 different third party testing labs that we use to make sure what we say is in there is in there. They do strict quality control, reject lots left and right if it doesn't meet our standards. Again, third party. We actually have a ton of different certifications. One being the Cologne list. The Cologne list is what for pretty much any athletes, but it's if it's on the Cologne list, that means Olympic athletes can use it. So it has to be a high quality product. It also has to be a safe product. And it has to be a natural product. So Olympic athletes can use every single one of our products across the board, no problems. And we have a ton of athletes that do use our products. But again, the sourcing of ingredients is our main priority of making sure that we have the right stuff in each bottle. So they're very, very tough on our sourcing of ingredients. But we could definitely, if you want more information on that, we can get a call with Dr. Plant. And they can go through and show you all of the different ingredients and why we source what we source.
Are there ever any products that aren't available because ingredients aren't in season?
We do a very good job of making sure that doesn't happen. It has happened with the Canada drops because we were going with this new formula. And then it has happened with a couple other products originally. But once we get them rolling, it's generally going to be on the launch of a product. And then trying to, but so now we usually forecast 4 times what we think we're going to need. And so that's where we keep those ingredients, make sure. So we'll never run out of Tahitian noni because we actually buy all the Tahitian noni as long as it is certified. We buy every bit of Tahitian noni that's in the French Polynesian islands as long as it's organic, and they're not putting any pesticides or herbicides on it. As long as they we'll guarantee we buy from those farmers on each island and bring it back to Tahiti and then ship it over here to us once they juice it from there. But that's just the kind of things we have. I can say there's probably been 3 products that we've had issues with since in the last 2 years, but every single one of those was the relaunch of a product or a brand new product.
Okay.
And that's one of the things these guys here, they're not hiring family members. They are going out and hiring the best of the best. I mean, you can look at everybody we brought on in the last 2 years. Katie Holt Larson, probably the best CEO in the industry space that we have. Everybody wants Katie. Dr. Josh Plant, the best scientist, hands down, Harvard trained, huge get for us. Our operations guy, he didn't come from our world. He came from a different world. But he came from tires and other places like that, for global logistics. And that's the one that's running all of making sure we have all the ingredients and everything. Matt is phenomenal. We have the best of the best. Mark Patterson with our marketing. That's one of the things that separates us. A lot of companies come in, they're robbing Peter to pay Paul. They're hiring their brothers and their sister-in-laws and stuff to run the company, and not here. We're hiring the best.
So is there training on these products?
Yeah, so we do there's plenty of videos that we do. We can send you over Todd's YouTube, my YouTube, some other YouTubes that has different product training. But like I'm doing one with that Young Living group I was talking about tomorrow, doing that tomorrow. And we'll pick out some products. And then we have what we call an IPA call every single weekday. And we'll do once a week. We generally try to do some type of product training. And then we have access, and that's another thing here is the cross-line support. It doesn't matter, the corporate support. If we need somebody on the phone, the girl that's doing the call for me tomorrow with that group we don't financially benefit each other at all, but she's helping me. And that's just the way we do it here. So Kristen's always available to answer questions. She knows products inside and out. She's the CrossFit girl in Tennessee that trains a lot of top athletes. And then we can get people on. If you have specific products, I really have this list of products I think I really want to, use or sell or introduce people to. We can get you all the documentation. We can get you videos on it. And we can also get you live training on it. No problem.
Okay. So when you purchase this, like if you purchase the 30 pack, then it's the same for all the products, or like, how can I say this?
30 pack is generally, so everything is built around a 28-day supply generally, or a 30-day supply. So the drops are a 28-day supply. The MOA is a 30-day supply. So everything's built around that. And generally it's built in that same, depending on the cost of the item. But yeah, like a MOA would be a 30 pack, would be 30 boxes of MOA, but you can't get that in Canada, but in the US you can. But yeah, generally it's just whatever the PV of that product is, it's going to vary, but generally our main products are going to be around 30 boxes, 22 to 30 boxes of that. It's going to be that PV value.
Okay.
And then you can mix and match. We have people that come in with 10 Renew, 10 MOA, and 10 drops a lot of times. That was what almost everybody used to come in at before we had this system of growth. Everybody was using the different products, what we call the trifecta. Here we do mostly everything's built around drops because they do sell so fast.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So yeah, can we talk a little bit about the 30 pack and the 2 ways to qualify, like a little bit more in depth? So if you buy the 30 pack, then you now have your retail supply. But if you want to try to earn your way in, that's a bit of a tougher go, and you only have 4 weeks to earn that 1,500 PV, and then you're an
So I can pull it
ultimate.
up in slides if y'all want to see that. That might be easier, but I'll just say it. So what we're going to for that ultimate title is 1,500 PV. That's the 30 pack of 30 boxes of drops. You only have to do that once. Once you do that, you guys especially you're gonna sell a lot more than that. And when you sell more than that, you're not going to actually place them under yourself. You're going to place them under new people that you sign up. So Leslie, just say you signed up Jamie. You would place an order under her. Once she's ultimate, you could take and order another 30 pack under Jamie. And that's 1,500 PV. She's going to go to ultimate without ever spending anything. And you're going to get the boxes, but you're also going to get $450 USD. So it's about 600 Canadian that you're going to get back in your check the next week from the commission side of that. So you'll never order under yourself again. And that's where this pay plan is another piece of the brilliancy is what Jannet was talking about, how we help each other. That's where it is. It's like we're putting orders. So in my situation, just say, okay, Jamie, I'm signing you up. And I put you at the very, very bottom. Even though you're my first generation, I don't have to put you at the top. I can put you at the bottom under 105 different people or wherever it is. If it's 105 levels deep, I'll put you there. I'm still going to get that new volume bonus, but it's also that volume is also going to come through and help everybody in that line, 105 people that it would help all the way up. They may get paid on it 15%, or it may help them establish what we call their power line for base commission. But that's a pretty in-depth starting to get into the pay plan, and we can do that. That's not a problem, but.
Yeah, maybe we'll throw a slide up, because when you come in as an ultimate or when you achieve ultimate, then now you're making 30% commission.
Yeah, let's see this one. This is going to be the US one. So here's the 30 pack, and you can kind of see how it works out. Your return on investment right there at the 167. And this is what we were talking about is kind of messed up. I'm gonna pull up. Let me see if I got a Canada one real quick. I don't have the new Canada one with the other ones on there. Oh, this is another one. So you can see, like, if you came in with 200 PV, the new volume bonus is 15%. Business, which is a 10 pack, your new volume bonus would be 20. And you can do this over time. You can do this over 4 weeks. But I highly recommend, especially if you're going to be signing people up, you want to be at top pay as soon as possible. But again, I'm never going to say you have to do that. We have people that come in that don't have any money that pre-sell these things. They go in, and what ends up happening, they basically right here with a 4-pack, and it works the same in Canada. They do what we call use one and sell three, get yours for free, kind of catch line or whatever you want to call it. But here in the US, a 4-pack is $371, which activates your business. But what people were doing is running what we call our system of growth, doing the posting. They would sell their 4 boxes, or 3 boxes. Once they sell 3 boxes, even if it's $150, they sell at $150. That's $450. That pays for their business, the $30 that they came in at. It also pays for the 4-pack. So when it does that, and then they get a free box basically out of that, and their business is totally paid for. So your business would be, in that sense, your business is paid for, and then you can just keep pre-selling. But I highly recommend the difference in that is if you come in at that and you sign somebody up this week, you're going to get paid at that new volume bonus, which is at 15%. However, if you go ahead, if you are able to, especially if you guys are going to have it in store and in stock, you can do the 30-pack, and that's going to go ahead and give you ultimate. So if you sign somebody up this week, you're going to get 30% new volume bonus on them. But again, it's totally your decision. I just always, I'm always going to lean towards the 30-pack just because it creates, because of the bulk buying discount, it creates so much more income.
Interesting.
Is there any type of satisfaction guarantee that PartnerCo offers with any of their products?
So if it is ordered from the site, so that's up to you if you sell out of hand and hand it to somebody and things like that, but the company, yes, there's a 30-day money back guarantee, and they will never tell you no. It's always like, if somebody doesn't like the drops, send back, and they've got a 4-pack, they can send back the 4-pack. No issue at all. So, but yes, there's a 30-day on every single one of the products. There's a 30-day back.
I want to mention really quick that there is a customer service number, and people get to speak to an actual human being, which I really appreciate, because I can't tell you how many times I've purchased something, went to call customer service, and you can only email them or chat with them. I'm like, I want to talk to someone. So you do get to talk to a person when you call the customer service number.
Yeah, and
people
then
can cancel their drops at any time by calling customer service, cancel their subscription. Yeah.
Yeah, and then if there's ever any issues that need to be taken to a next level, all you have to do is reach out. Eventually you'll be able to do it yourself. Once you hit what we call a title called officer, you get what we call the elite line, which is a special set of people that customer service, so you don't have to wait on any type of hold, which hold's never bad anyways, but you get to a higher level of customer service. But then we all actually have access. So if you had an issue and you were like, I got to get this taken care of right now, being on Partners Council, things like that, myself and Todd can just go in there. We have a chat group with the corporate staff, and we say, hey, we got this issue with this partner ID, and they take care of it really quickly. So
that's good.
You'll be blown away by the customer service.
Where are some of the amino acids sourced from?
I'm going to defer on that and bring Todd for that one. So I do not know. I'm more of a business guy. I don't know where the amino acids are sourced from, but Todd knows that from the back of his hand, like the back of his hand. He's a nutritionist as it is. So.
Okay.
Todd was on that call you missed initially, Jamie, because that's where I said you can pick his brain. But if there is a call tomorrow, you may want to hop on that, because they'll be discussing products there. So that would be a good place to get your product information questions answered.
Okay.
Or if you want, I can get you on a call with Todd on your own, and you two can chat it out.
All right.
You let me know.
Okay.
I just texted him to see if he could jump on.
Mm-hmm.
Good. But he's not. Sometimes he might be on another call. So, which I've got his Zoom room commandeered. So
So this has been an awesome Zoom. What excites me the most about this is three things. The first one is the timing. The second one is the timing. And the third one you'll probably never guess is the timing. When Jannet said the company's only 2 years old, we have a 25-year track record with, for example, Noni. I mean, the drops have been around for 13 years. Noni's been around for 27 or something. So it's like a new take on an old system or an old, existing business. So it's fresh, it's new, it's got energy, it's got sex appeal, all that stuff. But it's not like they're brand new at this. One of the owners was in the Noni business for 25 years. He was the top distributor, and he's now part owner in our company, right? So we've got all that stuff in place. And I'm gonna say this with all the kindness in my heart. These products are not on trial. These products work, they're proven, double-blind clinical trials, like you name it, they've done it. The testing that they go through for these ingredients is off the scale. And that's sort of a self-regulated thing. Nobody says, oh, if you sell this supplement or this product, you have to test it. Partner Code kind of does that on their own, of their own volition. So any one of us could take any one of our products and build an absolute dynasty. So the drops are sexy and they're viral, and people are hearing about them and stuff. So I mean, people either need to lose weight or inflammation, thyroid, blood sugar, pH balance, whatever it is. I mean, we all need help, in my humble opinion. Even healthy people take this because it balances the body, right? So all that being in place, you guys have hit the timing, as have we, but the vision, the four people that are looking at this evening can literally own a chunk of what I believe is going to be the next billion-dollar company. When a company in this industry hits $1 billion, everybody notices. There are people in other network marketing companies, and a lot of them are dropping like flies, I'll be honest. A lot of people in other companies are watching what we're doing because this has never been done before in this industry with this system of growth. So everyone who has a computer or a cell phone can do this business. Part of the trick is to be teachable and coachable. Like, I've got a couple people that are trying to reinvent the wheel, and it's just costing them time and money because the system is proven, the system works. So especially with you two gals, like, you have a pretty good opportunity to have a bit of a retail space. So what I would recommend is that you have a sheet form there for people to fill out with their information. Yeah, okay, I'll try a drop of those sorry, I'll try a box of those drops and see what it does for me. So you follow up with them. Hey, how are the drops going? Oh yeah, good, whatever. I lost 2.5 pounds or whatever their story might be. And you say, well, you know what? If you're going to order again, you can become a brand partner and buy them at wholesale rather than paying retail. So that way you're earning income from the retail sale, but then you also end up with a brand partner likely because this product actually works, right? That's what I love about this the most. And we're not selling women's pantyhose to men, because if this was that, I wouldn't do it. But everybody needs to lose weight, all that stuff. And it sells itself. So through this system of growth, all you do is plug into it, do the posts, and I was at the event in Calgary here a little over a month ago, and a lot of people said, "Oh yeah, I wasn't doing them posts because that's corny, and that's not me. It's not my style, whatever it is." But they finally started doing it and finally started getting results because the single biggest thing about the system of growth is it's duplicatable. Everyone can do it. I have a gal on my team that is, she went to university for marketing. And she said, "Oh, no, I'm not going to do that." She said, "I'm going to do my own thing." And I said, "Well, that's cool. You're more than welcome to. However," I said, "unless you sponsor everyone on your team that's been to university for marketing, they can't duplicate what you do." Right. So I said, if they plug into the system, it's literally a turnkey thing. So we've got the company, we've got the pay plan, we've got the Bill of Rights, we've got the field leadership, all that stuff is already in place. The only thing that's missing is you. So that's the decision this evening. Do you want to do this with us or not? And I mean this with all the kindness in my heart. We're doing this anyway. So the only question is, do you want to do it with us? Because if you do, you stick your key in, turn it, and it starts up, and you can drive it as fast or as slow as you want. If you take one step, we'll take 10. If you take 10, we'll take 100. If you take 100, we'll take 1,000, but you have to take that step. So it's the start that stops most people. And the biggest single trick is get started. Back to you, Reese. Thanks.
Any other questions or anything?
Is it imperative at all to actually like have a personal testimony of your own regarding taking the drops, or does it sell just as well if
Yeah.
you don't take them?
I'll give you a perfect example, and you're probably in that age group. So we have what we call our next gen group, which is 18 to 35-year-olds. You look well into on the bottom side of that. So, anyways, we have a girl who is a teacher who was pregnant when she started this. Uh, she has been nursing completely. She has never taken the drops, and she's sold probably 1,000 boxes of drops at this point. So there's plenty of people that generally people will say, "I need to get my testimony." But we always encourage people, go ahead and start posting right off the bat, because by the time you get your testimony, you've already got that traction going. And when you have your personal testimony, that even explodes even more. So we have a ton of people, again, like I told you, people pre-selling, they don't even have their drops yet, and they'll pre-sell their boxes and then do it. So personal testimony, we have every testimony that you're going to have and that we give you, that you can do the posting or that you're going to put display or whatever. Every single one of those are part of our team or other teams. Everybody, we know them. They are organic testimonies. They are not testimonies of like corporate just send us and said, "Hey, here's some people that lost weight on these drops." These are our customers. These are our brand partners. They're us. And so you'll have those true organic posts and those stories for people to be able to be able to share and get their business started without that.
Now, I know you mentioned that there was like a recommended food sheet, I guess, to kind of like stick by. How regarding those testimonies, are those people providing their testimonies vetting or like are they basically disclaiming whether they're following that or not, whether they're doing a certain diet
So
or
so
what?
everybody's a little bit different, of course. For to lose weight, you have to eat right. It's just as simple as that. I mean, you have to eat right, and these drops help you balance out your body, and they help jumpstart that. In the clinical study on these drops, we saw basically the results from somebody that was on the placebo versus somebody that was on the drops. They lost weight about twice as fast on the initial, but they stayed on the food plan for the entirety. Whereas the placebo group, a lot of those people fell off. But when you stay on the food plan, some people will say, "Yeah, I'll eat this or whatever." And then usually what you have is you have people, when those posts happen, they'll ask you, "What about the drops?" And you'll let them know, "Hey, this is the food plan that goes with it," and same type of thing. But yeah, for me, it was an 80-20 mix. I know some people that never changed hardly what they were eating and had success. It just kind of changed what they were eating. They never like really tried to. Me, I tried to cut out the sodas and the nighttime Oreos. That was the main thing I was cutting out, but I was still 80/20. I still had, I still ate pizza here and there, things like that.
And it's easier to stay on the food guide as well, Jamie, because it helps with cravings for carbs and sugar. So it's easier, being on the drops to follow that as well.
All right. Yeah. Thanks.
I can send you the food guide as well, Jamie, and also Leslie. It's not a crazy, like only 5 fruits or 5 vegetables. It's a lot. It's a lot to choose from. It's a big menu to choose from. So it's, you have to cut out the obvious things, but because we are trying to get those sugars down. And if someone has candida, then sugar is about the worst thing they can eat. So many people have gut issues now because of the food that we're eating and because of the environment that we live in and the pesticides and herbicides on the food. So there's very few people who don't have gut issues. So this is such a great stepping stone for people who haven't taken that step like you and I have with their health, where they've really dove into their health and dove into what am I eating? How am I eating it? When am I eating it? So for people who are just getting started on that health journey, this food guide really, really does help them. Really guides them. So they go, oh, okay, so I just have to eliminate these few things, but I still get to eat all of this. So the food guide is, in my opinion, definitely user-friendly. I'm on a hypothyroid diet, so there's not much I'm allowed to eat, no gluten, no caffeine, no. So when I look at this food guide, I'm like, wow, this is pretty phenomenal. I don't think many people would have a hard time not following it. So I'll send that to both of you ladies. And then of course, Gordon, you can see it when you get home tomorrow night.
Yeah, and anybody that's doing keto, paleo, those are all low glycemic, so they work just as well. People would always ask, I guess you're starving yourself. And it's like, well, if eating a steak every night or salmon every night, is starving yourself, I guess I am. But no, you get to eat, if you eat as much as you want when you're hungry, there's no, like in the booklet, it'll say eat more than 1,250 calories. That's because we have to put something in there. But it's just basically eat when you're hungry and don't eat when you're not hungry. That's the key there. Just eat off the food list if you're hungry.
Any other questions?
I am interested to know how the drops are working for you, Jannet.
Oh my gosh, I love them. I have to say, the first thing I noticed when I took them, literally when I say, like the first few days, I felt different as soon as I put the Slenderiiz Drops under my tongue, which would be the day drops for you, Leslie, daytime drops. But what I felt was I was grounded, because with having menopause and Hashimoto's, the number one thing we struggle with is brain fog. So I was really frustrated with always searching for a word during a conversation. And I don't have a lot of conversations during the day with living alone and not having an office to go to and conversing with people all day long. So now I even said it to Shorty shortly after I started taking the drops. I said, oh my gosh, like my conversations are better. They're smoother. I just felt the brain fog lifting. For me, with Hashimoto and being in menopause, weight loss is slower for me because Hashimoto's, that's one of the things we have a really hard time releasing weight. However, I have lost 3 pounds. And when did I start my drops? I want to say the first week in June. So
Yeah.
pretty good for me, but it was the inches I felt. There's another product that they sell called Advantage. It's a supplement that you take with your food. And it seems to really help with bloat after eating. It focuses on the visceral fat around the waist. So that's the number one place I'm losing weight, is around my waist. And that's, like, for women, that's one of the toughest places to release weight. So that's where my inches are going down, and that's where I think the pounds are going down. But because I feel so good, I'm working out now. Like, I look like crap right now because I went to Pilates and then I did a weights class after at DOS Rec. So I'm like, oh, well, this is how I'm showing up for the call. So what's happened is now I'm feeling better and I have more energy. So now I'm working out more. So muscle weighs more than fat. So I'm not going by the scale. That's not a good way for me to do it, but by inches is how I'll be doing it. But thank you for asking.
That
Absolutely.
Advantage is another good product, just to mention. That was one of the newer products that we just launched, just to speak to the ingredient thing. So we have what's called Grains of Paradise, which is a ginger root, and it's only found in a certain area in Africa. I think it's Africa. I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's Africa. But again, it's specific because of what it targets, and it increases metabolism. So it basically it kickstarts your metabolism, so you'll burn about 10 times as fast.
Awesome. I didn't know that. Thank you.
Yeah, I have read about how ginger is really good for the metabolism.
It really helps kickstart for that brown fat anyways.
Mm-hmm. Which is actually dangerous. Like, that's dangerous for us to have that brown fat on our bodies for a long time. Yeah.
It does what an ice bath does without having to get in the ice bath.
That's right. That's right. Gordon, Leslie, do you guys have any questions?
I do and I don't. I'm just trying to absorb all this.
It's a lot, I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
No, but it sounds good. Like I'm kind of excited about it. So when I get home, we'll talk a little bit more about it, and then I guess we'll have to get hold of you at some point.
Yeah, you betcha. You let me know when you're ready. I'll be here.
And
Okay.
feel free to text me or call me or whatever and ask questions, anything that you guys have. Janet, you can put us all in touch with each other. We'll get Todd in there for Jamie, since she's gonna run. She's already way above me in the where ingredients are.
Jamie, do you have the Young Living oils in your location there?
I do.
That's what I thought. So, I mean, Reese, is she okay to hop on the call tomorrow night?
Yeah, no doubt. All of them are now. A lot of these were. Are you part of Young Living, or are you just? Yeah. So what are you able to do other things?
As far as I know, I don't see why not.
Yeah, once they get to a certain level, everybody starts like, well, because of the social media platform. That's the only reason I asked. But everybody's like, and that's something else here. We'll never tell you you can't try to do other things. You can do many business, whatever you want to do. It's just not good to like mix everything and confuse your audience. But if you're like in your situation selling like that, it'll be great to have different products. A lot of this group that I have there, Young Living and Nature Sunshine. So.
Okay. Yeah, one concern that I have regarding like what I am allowed and what I'm not allowed to do, like it sounds like I can do basically all the things, like talk about all the things on my social media, but within my place of work, like being a massage therapist, I can't really talk about diet, nutrition, because it's out of my scope of practice. And so I feel like there would be kind of a fine line that I'd have to dance around. And specific verbiage that I would have to make sure that I would be using so that I'm not infringing on what I'm allowed to do.
So we have a good sheet that basically says, say this, don't say this. And it goes for all of us. It doesn't matter who it, like we can't make specific claims. I can only tell you testimonies. Like I can't say that you're going to lose weight on the drops. The drops cause you to lose weight. I can only tell you what my testimonies are. I can tell you. And then of course the disclaimer that you were asking for, in Canada on all of our posts, we have the disclaimer, and things here in the US, it's a little bit more lax. So we don't have to stack every single one of them with a disclaimer. But yeah, as long as it's really not that much of a fine line, because basically these are hormone balancing drops, and that's pretty much what you say in a side effect of balancing hormones, which there's research on it, tons of research, and you can say this side effect of balancing hormones is losing weight. So
yeah. So I developed an all-natural pet supplement 16 years ago in Canada, and it's Health Canada approved. So Health Canada is a lot more strict than the FDA, I'll tell you that much. So they put my supplement through the ringer, which I was glad they did. So with that, with doing my marketing material, we can say things like, the supplement has been shown to, do this. The supplement has been shown to, because just what Todd was saying, it's a testimonial. So we have seen that dogs improved in this area when taking the supplement. So I kind of like that verbiage, and that's what I would use on all of my marketing. The supplement's been shown to. So you can say the drops have been shown to, help people to lose weight, because you're balancing the body. I always refer to the drops personally as body balancing drops, because that to me is what they are. I know we've got day and night drops in Canada. We've got Slenderiiz and Accelerate in the US, but they're just body balancing. And that's what we all really need to achieve to feel better, to have, more muscle, to have more energy, less brain fog. So it's an overall body balancing system. So I always just say, losing weight or shedding pounds is kind of a side effect. Yeah. So Reese, if I can get that Zoom link for tomorrow night's call, I might even pop on too.
It's on this same Zoom link. We're doing it on Todd's tomorrow. So
Oh, perfect. What
I'll
time?
send it over to you. I'll send it in the group text in here in just a second.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay. So does anyone have anything they want to say, ask at this point? No?
Very
Okay.
informative. It was very, very informative. It was
Oh, good.
lots of information.
Don't let it overwhelm you. Like
No.
Shorty said, you just have to turn the key, put it in drive.
Yeah, just trying to make my notes.
And we'll
Yeah,
take
keep
every
it all
baby
straight.
step with you. So as Shorty said, we'll if you go 10, we'll go 100 for you. So
Mhm.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Yeah.
that's great. Thank you so much, you guys, for your time. It was definitely well worth it. Yeah,
Good, I'm glad.
yeah.
awesome to meet you guys.
Yes, you too. Thank you.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good
Okay,
night.
good night,
Thanks,
everyone.
everybody.
Nice
Nice meeting
night.
you.
You too.